Hello everyone. My name is Eric Birnbaum, and this summer I interned at Court Watch NOLA. Court Watch NOLA's mission is to hold officials in the New Orleans criminal courthouses accountable for their actions pertaining to the charged defendants. Court Watch NOLA intends to keep not just the judges accountable, but also the district attorneys, private defense attorneys, court-appointed counsel, and the Orleans Parish security officers. My job specifically has been to attend magistrate court hearings and record data regarding a variety of factors. A couple of the most prominent factors I had to take note of were how many questions the magistrate asked the defendants about their income when determining bail, the professionalism of everyone in court, and if the stipulations of a defendant's release is made perfectly clear to them. I believe that Court Watch NOLA produces positive outcomes in the New Orleans community because we are doing, essentially, what nobody else has the responsibility of doing. Obviously, not everyone can be inside every court session. But because of the records we produce, everyone has access to what their public officials are doing and whether or not they're giving the residents of New Orleans the fair criminal procedure they deserve. On a personal level, I believe one of the greatest outcomes I've gained from this internship experience was that it solidified my interest in my desired profession. All my life, I wanted to be a criminal defense attorney, and although I was worried I would be bored of court after a while, I soon found out that I am now eager to attend court every day and that my passion for this profession has grown. One of the most prominent challenges I faced throughout the course of my internship had to be the lack of transparency between Court Watch and the court system. For starters, if court had been canceled on a certain day, I wouldn't know that until I arrived at the courthouse, saw nobody was there, and came to the conclusion that court had been canceled. Additionally, although court sessions are supposed to be run at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. every day, it is up to the discretion of the magistrate if they want to start court early or late. There have been times where I have arrived 15 minutes early to just find out that court had already ended. Similarly, there have been times I showed up to court on time and had to wait in court for approximately 2 hours before it began. Lastly, a feature that courts possess is the ability to call sidebars. This is where the magistrate, defense, and district attorney can virtually huddle up so that nobody in the courtroom, myself included, can hear what they are saying. However, even with this lack of transparency and the presence of sidebars, I did my best to record the data presented before me in the most efficient ways possible. I believe that I have contributed a great amount to Court Watch during my internship and have helped produce great strides towards complete accountability of our courtroom officials. Whereas many other interns at Court Watch only go to 1 or 2 sessions a week, on average, I made it my goal to attend at least 10 sessions each week. This allowed me to keep track of specific defendants, magistrates, and appointed defenders, and hence make note of their performance in court on a regular basis. I analyzed trends of certain officials and was able to produce a more detailed report of their actions. Additionally, although this is not required, I decided to strictly attend magistrate court hearings rather than magistrate and municipal. This allowed me to become more well-versed in the ins and outs of one specific sect of the courthouse, and in turn, produce more accurate and thought-out reports. In relation to the readings and material utilized throughout this course, I have been able to make connections between service learning and my internship in order to have a better understanding of the two. The first concept that came to mind when reflecting on my internship experience is the savior complex. To refresh everyone's memory, the savior complex entails that predominantly white individuals of privilege will typically go out into the world to aid or save those who are less fortunate. However, their efforts consistently fall short because the saviors don't take the time to understand the perspectives of the individuals they are helping. The saviors believe that they know best, when in reality, they possess the potential to actually make things worse. Through Court Watch, I have noticed that most of my colleagues and fellow interns are white and wealthy Tulane students. Meanwhile, we are all trying to help predominantly low-income, African American criminal defendants in the New Orleans area. Although most of the defendants might not know what Court Watch is, I bet they wouldn't think taking notes on their cases is helping them too much. Although I do believe that Court Watch is making a great impact in the New Orleans community, I also acknowledge, as an organization, we are composed mainly of individuals with a savior complex who may not take the time to fully understand what these individuals need for a fair court procedure. Next, I have identified that the ideology of Stanley Fish holds some truth. Fish described how academics should not abandon their roles in universities by trying to attack a social injustice head-on. It is their responsibility to continue to learn about how to fix these injustices and apply their knowledge in aiding the individuals whose job it is to physically help. In relation to Court Watch, as previously stated, most of the Court Watchers are two-link students who attend a higher education institution. Although we may have the knowledge of how to fix a social problem and its root causes, it is not our responsibility to physically aid the defendants in these cases. That job lies in the hands of the public defenders, private attorneys, and other courtroom officials. By using our knowledge, collecting data, and producing reports, we're able to make the injustices occurring in the courts well known. This information could also be used by the individuals within the courtroom to better understand how they should be acting, given their occupation. Given that my internship is nearing its end, I am now in the position to not just further praise the work that Court Watch NOLA has been doing since it was founded, but also provide constructive feedback on how Court Watch could focus their aim. First, I would like to thank Court Watch NOLA for the work they are doing for the New Orleans community. Unfortunately, there is a negative stigma surrounding criminal defense attorneys and advocates in the sense that they are believed to be putting criminals back on the streets. However, all defendants in the New Orleans criminal court system should be presumed innocent until proven guilty. I have seen many individuals charged with serious offenses end up having the charges dropped because they were given the criminal procedure they are entitled to. However, some defendants are still not receiving the criminal procedure they deserve. I understand this because of the multiple hours I've spent in the New Orleans criminal courts. I'm glad that there are organizations such as Court Watch that aim to make sure that individuals are not just being fed into the for-profit prison system that Louisiana has. However, I also believe that Court Watch could refine their focus in one major way. With the savior complex in mind, I believe that there should be more discussion between Court Watch, defendants, and court-appointed counsel on how they perceive our work. Because these are individuals who are in the theoretical trenches, I believe they would know best on how to amend the broken criminal court system in New Orleans. All in all, I am thankful for the opportunity to intern at Court Watch this summer, and I can't wait to use what I've learned from them and in this class to further servicing the community in the future. Thank you.